everyone! Welcome back to Six Min's English channel, your cozy little place to learn English through real, everyday conversations. I'm Kate.
And I'm Neil. Hi to all of our wonderful listeners wherever you are in the world right now. Kate, you seem very relaxed, very calm.
Do I? Well, I just got back from visiting my cousin in the countryside. I spent 3 days there.
Wait. You went to the countryside? You, the person who always says, I need my coffee shop on every corner.
I know. I surprised myself, too. But Kate, something changed.
What do you mean? Did you finally learn to appreciate silence?
Not exactly silence. There was a rooster, a very loud rooster, every morning at 6 a.m.
Oh no, that doesn't sound relaxing at all.
It wasn't at first, but then, I don't know, I started enjoying the fresh air, the space, the stars at night. It was strange.
Wow, this is big news. City boy Neil is becoming a country person.
I didn't say that. I still love the city, but now I see both sides. Well, this is perfect timing because today we are talking exactly about this topic. City life versus country life. Which one is better?
And spoiler alert, there is no right answer.
That's true. It depends on the person, but we are going to explore both sides today.
Yes, and before we dive into this fun conversation, we have a small request for all of you.
If you enjoy learning English with us, please subscribe to Six Men's English channel.
Hit that subscribe button and give this episode a like. It really helps us reach more learners like you.
And share this with your English learning friends. Learning together is more fun. Thank you so much. Now, Kate, let's start with the basics. What exactly do we mean by city life and country life?
Good question. City life means living in a big, busy place. Lots of people, lots of buildings, lots of activity.
Think of places like New York, London, Tokyo, or Paris, big cities with millions of people.
Yes, and country life means living in a rural area, small towns, villages, farms, lots of nature and open space.
Rural is the opposite of urban. Urban means city, rural means countryside.
Exactly. So today we are comparing these two very different lifestyles. Let's start with city life. Neil, you live in a city, right?
I do. I live in a medium-sized city. Not huge like New York, but still pretty busy.
What do you love about living in a city?
Oh, so many things. First, convenience. Everything I need is close by.
Convenience means things are easy to get or easy to do, right?
Exactly. If I need food at 11 p.m., I can find a store. If I want coffee, there are 10 coffee shops within 5 minutes.
See, you do love your coffee shops.
I can't deny it. But it's not just coffee. I can find restaurants, gyms, hospitals, banks. Everything is nearby.
That's true. In a city, you don't have to travel far for services. Everything is accessible.
Another thing I love is the variety. So many different restaurants. Italian, Chinese, Mexican, Indian. I can try food from all over the world.
Cities are very diverse. Diverse means many different kinds of people and cultures.
Yes, I meet people from different countries, different backgrounds. It's exciting.
What about entertainment? That's another big advantage of cities, right?
Oh, yes, there are. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Six Min's English channel, your cozy little place to learn English through real, everyday conversations. I'm Kate.
And I'm Neil. Hi to all of our wonderful listeners wherever you are in the world right now. Kate, you seem very relaxed, very calm.
Do I? Well, I just got back from visiting my cousin in the countryside. I spent 3 days there.
Wait. You went to the countryside? You, the person who always says, I need my coffee shop on every corner.
I know. I surprised myself, too. But Kate, something changed.
What do you mean? Did you finally learn to appreciate silence?
Not exactly silence. There was a rooster, a very loud rooster, every morning at 6 a.m.
Oh no, that doesn't sound relaxing at all.
It wasn't at first, but then, I don't know. I started enjoying the fresh air, the space, the stars at night. It was strange.
Wow, this is big news. City boy Neil is becoming a country person.
I didn't say that. I still love the city, but now I see both sides. Well, this is perfect timing because today we are talking exactly about this topic. City life versus country life. Which one is better?
And spoiler alert, there is no right answer.
That's true. It depends on the person, but we are going to explore both sides today.
Yes, and before we dive into this fun conversation, we have a small request for all of you.
If you enjoy learning English with us, please subscribe to Six Men's English channel.
Hit that subscribe button and give this episode a like. It really helps us reach more learners like you.
And share this with your English learning friends. Learning together is more fun. Thank you so much. Now, Kate, let's start with the basics. What exactly do we mean by city life and country life?
Good question. City life means living in a big, busy place. Lots of people, lots of buildings, lots of activity.
Think of places like New York, London, Tokyo, or Paris, big cities with millions of people.
Yes, and country life means living in a rural area. Small towns, villages, farms, lots of nature and open space.
Rural is the opposite of urban. Urban means city, rural means countryside.
Exactly. So today we are comparing these two very different lifestyles. Let's start with city life. Neil, you live in a city, right?
I do. I live in a medium-sized city. Not huge like New York, but still pretty busy.
What do you love about living in a city?
Oh, so many things. First, convenience. Everything I need is close by.
Convenience means things are easy to get or easy to do, right?
Exactly. If I need food at 11 p.m., I can find a store. If I want coffee, there are 10 coffee shops within 5 minutes.
See, you do love your coffee shops.
I can't deny it. But it's not just coffee. I can find restaurants, gyms, hospitals, banks. Everything is nearby.
That's true. In a city, you don't have to travel far for services. Everything is accessible.
Another thing I love is the variety. So many different restaurants. Italian, Chinese, Mexican, Indian. I can try food from all over the world.
Cities are very diverse. Diverse means many different kinds of people and cultures.
Yes, I meet people from different countries, different backgrounds. It's exciting.
What about entertainment? That's another big advantage of cities, right?
Oh, yes, there are always things to do. Concerts, museums, theaters, cinemas, festivals.
You never get bored in a city.
Never. Last weekend, I went to an art exhibition. This weekend, I might go to a live music concert.
That sounds amazing. What else do you like?
Job opportunities. Cities have more jobs, more companies, more industries, more chances to find good work.
That's a huge reason why people move to cities. Better career options.
Exactly. If you want to grow professionally, cities usually offer more possibilities.
Okay, but Neil, let's be honest. Cities aren't perfect, right?
No, definitely not perfect. What are the downsides? The negative parts.
Well, first, it's crowded. There are people everywhere all the time.
Crowded means too many people in one space, like a crowded bus or a crowded street.
Yes, during rush hour, the subway is packed. I mean, you can barely breathe sometimes.
Rush hour is the time when everyone is going to work or coming home from work, usually morning and evening, right?
And the streets are full of cars, traffic jams everywhere.
Traffic jams when cars move very slowly or not at all because there are too many vehicles.
It's frustrating. Sometimes it takes me 40 minutes to travel 5 kilometers.
That's terrible. What about noise?
Oh, the noise. Cars honking, construction work, sirens, people shouting.
Cities are loud, very loud.
Sometimes I can't sleep because there's noise outside my window. A party, a car alarm, something.
That sounds stressful. And speaking of stress, city life can be very fast-paced, right?
Yes, the pace of life in cities is fast. Everyone is rushing, hurrying, running.
Pace of life means how fast or slow your daily routine feels. Cities have a fast pace.
Exactly. People walk fast, talk fast, eat fast. There's always this feeling of hurry.
It can be exhausting. What about cost? Is city life expensive?
Oh, yes, very expensive. Rent is high, food is expensive, transportation costs money.
I've heard that a small apartment in a big city can cost as much as a big house in the countryside.
That's absolutely true. My friend pays $1,500 a month for a tiny one-bedroom apartment.
Wow, that's a lot.
It is. And don't forget pollution. Cities have more pollution because of all the cars and factories.
Pollution means dirty air, water, or environment. It's harmful to our health.
Yes, sometimes the air quality is so bad that it's hard to breathe. You can see the smog.
Smog is a mix of smoke and fog. It makes the air look gray and dirty.
Exactly. So while cities offer a lot, they also come with challenges.
Now, let's talk about country life. I grew up in a small town, so I know this lifestyle well.
Really? Tell me about it.
Well, the first thing I loved was the space. So much open space. Fields, forests, hills.
That sounds beautiful. Very different from concrete buildings everywhere.
Yes, instead of buildings, you see nature. Trees, flowers, animals.
And the air must be cleaner, right?
Oh, much cleaner. No pollution like in cities. You can take deep breaths and smell fresh air.
That's what I noticed at my cousin's place. The air felt lighter somehow.
Exactly. And it's so much quieter. No car horns, no sirens, just birds singing and wind in the trees.
That must be relaxing.
It is. The pace of life is slower, too. People don't rush. They take their time.
So the opposite of city life.
Completely opposite. In my town, people would stop and chat with their neighbors. They weren't always checking their watches.
That sounds nice. Less stressful.
It is. You feel more connected to nature and to people around you. Life feels simpler.
What about safety? Is the countryside safer than cities?
Generally, yes. There's less crime. Everyone knows everyone, so people look out for each other.
Like a community, a real community where people care about their neighbors.
Exactly. If you need help, someone will help you. It's very friendly.
And I bet it's cheaper to live there, right?
Oh, yes, much cheaper. You can buy a house with a garden for the price of a small apartment in the city. Food is often cheaper too, especially if you grow your own vegetables.
Your own vegetables. That's very country.
It is, but it's also healthy and fresh. You know exactly where your food comes from. Okay, but Zara, country life must have some disadvantages too, right?
Of course, it's not paradise.
Tell me the truth. What are the problems?
Well, the biggest problem is you're far from everything, very isolated.
Isolated means you're alone, far from other people and places.
Yes, the nearest supermarket might be 20 kilometers away. The nearest hospital may be 40 kilometers.
That's far. What if there's an emergency?
Exactly. It takes longer to get help. And if you need something urgently, you can't just walk to a store.
What about entertainment? Are there things to do?
Not really. No cinemas, no theaters, no concerts. If you want entertainment, you have to travel to the city.
That sounds boring for young people.
It can be, especially for teenagers. They often feel like there's nothing to do.
What about jobs? Are there good job opportunities?
No, that's another big problem. There aren't many jobs in the countryside. Most people work in farming or small local businesses, so if you want a career in technology or finance or something specialized, you have to move to a city.
Exactly. Many young people leave the countryside to find better jobs in cities.
What about transportation? How do people get around?
Well, you need a car. There's no subway, no buses every 10 minutes. Public transportation is very limited. Public transportation means buses, trains, and subways that everyone can use, right?
And in the countryside, there might be one bus a day or no buses at all.
So if you don't have a car, you're stuck.
Pretty much, and that's expensive too. You need to buy a car, pay for gas, pay for insurance.
What about internet? Is it good in rural areas?
Oh, the internet. That's another issue. It's often slow or unreliable.
That's a problem if you work from home or study online.
Definitely. I remember trying to watch a video and it would stop every 30 seconds to buffer.
Frustrating.
Very. So you see, both city life and country life have good points and bad points.
It really depends on what you value, what's important to you personally.
Exactly. Some people need excitement and opportunities. They choose cities.
And some people need peace and space. They choose the countryside.
What about you, Neil? Where do you see yourself in the future?
That's a good question. I think I want both.
Both? How does that work?
Well, I'd like to live in a city for work and opportunities, but have a small house in the country for weekends.
Oh, like a vacation home.
Exactly. Best of both worlds. I can enjoy city life during the week and escape to nature on weekends. That's actually a great compromise. What about you, in the long term?
Maybe when I retire, I'll move to the countryside permanently when I don't need to commute to work anymore.
Commute means travel to work or school every day, like your daily journey to the office.
Yes. Commuting in cities can take so much time, an hour each way, sometimes more.
That's 2 hours every day just traveling.
Exactly. So when I don't need to commute, I can live anywhere, and I'd choose somewhere quiet and green.
That makes sense. I used to think I wanted to live in a big city forever, but now I'm not so sure.
What changed?
I miss the simplicity of country life, the fresh air, the stars at night, the friendly neighbors.
So you want to move back?
Not right now. I like my job and it's in the city, but maybe in a few years I'll look for something smaller.
Like a small town, not a village, but not a big city.
Exactly. A small town with maybe 50,000 people, big enough to have shops and restaurants, but small enough to feel like a community.
That sounds perfect, like a middle ground.
Yes, you get some convenience, but also some peace. The best balance.
I like that idea. Now let's help our listeners practice talking about this topic.
Good idea. Let's share some useful phrases.
If someone asks you, "Where do you live?" you can say, "I live in a big city," or "I live in the countryside."
You can also be more specific. I live in a suburb. A suburb is an area near a city, but quieter and more residential. Residential means there are mostly houses, not offices or factories.
Right? Or you can say, "I live in a small town in the mountains," or "I live near the beach."
What if someone asks, "Do you like where you live?"
You can say, "I love it. It's very convenient, and there's always something to do."
Or it's okay, but it's too crowded for me.
Or even not really. I prefer quieter places.
What about talking about preferences? How do you say what you prefer?
You can say, "I prefer city life because I like being around people," or "I prefer the countryside because I value peace and nature."
You can also say, "I enjoy city life, but sometimes I need a break from the noise."
That's honest. What if you're comparing the two?
You can say, "Cities are more exciting, but the countryside is more relaxing." Or, "The countryside is cheaper, but cities offer more opportunities."
These comparisons help you express your thoughts clearly.
What if you want to ask someone else about their preference?
You can ask, "Would you rather live in a city or the countryside?" Or, "What's more important to you, excitement or peace?" Or simply, "Where do you see yourself living in the future?"
These are great conversation starters.
They are. And remember, there's no wrong answer. Everyone has different needs and preferences.
Exactly. Some people love the energy of cities. Others find it overwhelming.
Overwhelming means too much, too intense. It makes you feel stressed or tired.
Right. And some people find the countryside boring, while others find it calming.
It's all about personality and lifestyle.
So before we finish, let's review what we talked about today.
We compared city life and country life. We talked about the advantages and disadvantages of each. Cities offer convenience, variety, entertainment, and job opportunities, but they're crowded, noisy, expensive, and polluted.
The countryside offers space, clean air, peace, and lower costs, but it's isolated with fewer jobs, limited services, and less entertainment.
Both have pros and cons. The best choice depends on what you value most.
And remember, you don't have to choose forever. Many people move between city and country at different stages of life.
That's true. Your needs change as you get older.
Exactly. Now, we have a question for all of you listening today.
We want to hear from you. Where do you live, and do you like it? Do you live in a big city, a small town, the countryside?
Tell us in the comments. Write 1 or 2 sentences. For example, I live in a big city and I love the energy, but sometimes it's too loud.
Or, I live in a small village and I enjoy the peace, but I miss having restaurants nearby.
We read every single comment. We love learning about your lives and where you're from.
And writing in English is excellent practice. Don't worry about making mistakes.
Exactly. Just share your thoughts with us.
And if you enjoyed today's conversation, please subscribe to 6 Men's English channel.
Click that subscribe button so you don't miss future episodes. We have so many fun topics coming up.
And give this episode a like. It helps us create more content for wonderful learners like you.
Share this with your friends who are learning English. Let's grow our community together.
Thank you so much for spending time with us today. You're doing amazing work with your English.
Keep practicing, keep learning, and keep going. You're getting better every single day.
Whether you live in a city or the countryside, we hope you're happy where you are. And if you're not, well, maybe it's time to think about what you really want.
Good advice, Neil. We'll see you very soon in our next episode.
Until then, happy learning, everyone.
Goodbye, everyone.
Bye. See you soon.